Now morn, her rosy steps in the eastern clime advancing, sowed the earth with orient pearl, when Adam waked, so customed, for his sleep was airy light, from pure digestion bred, and temperate vapours bland, which the only sound of leaves in fuming rills, Aurora's fan, lightly dispersed, and the shrill matin song of birds on every bough. So much the more his wonder was to find unwakened Eve, with tresses discomposed, and glowing cheek, as through unquiet rest. He on his side leaning half raised, with looks of cordial love, hung over her enamoured, and beheld beauty which, whether waking or asleep, shot forth peculiar graces. Then with voice mild, as when Zephyrus on Flora breathes, her hands soft touching, whispered thus, "Awake, my fairest, my espoused, my latest found, heaven's last best gift, my ever new delight. Awake, the morning shines, and the fresh field calls us. We lose the prime to mark how spring our tender plants, how blows the citron grove, what drops the myrrh, and what the balmy reed, how nature paints her colours, how the bee sits on the bloom extracting liquid sweet." Such whispering waked her, but with startled eye on Adam, whom embracing, thus she spake, "O soul, in whom my thoughts find all repose, my glory, my perfection, glad I see thy face, and morn returned. For I this night, such night till this I never passed, have dreamed, if dreamed not, as I oft am wont, of thee, works of day past, or morrow's next design, but of offence and trouble, which my mind knew never till this irksome night. Methought, close at mine ear, one called me forth to walk with gentle voice. I thought it thine. It said, "Why sleepest thou, Eve? Now is the pleasant time, the cool, the silent, save where silence yields to the night-warbling bird, that now awake tunes sweetest his love-laboured song. Now reigns full-orbed the moon, and with more pleasing light shadowy sets off the face of things. In vain, if none regard, heaven wakes with all his eyes, whom to behold but thee, nature's desire, in whose sight all things joy, with ravishment attracted by thy beauty still to gaze. I rose as at thy call, but found thee not. To find thee I directed then my walk, and on methought alone I passed through ways that brought me on a sudden to the tree of interdicted knowledge. Fair it seemed, much fairer to my fancy than by day, and as I wondering looked, beside it stood one shaped and winged like one of those from heaven by us oft seen, his dewy locks distilled ambrosia. On that tree he also gazed, and, "O fair plant," said he, "with fruit surcharged, deigns none to ease thy load and taste thy sweet, nor God nor man. Is knowledge so despised? Or envy, or what reserve forbids to taste? Forbid who will, none shall from me withhold longer thy offered good. Why else set here?" This said, he paused not, but with venturous arm he plucked, he tasted. Me damp horror chilled at such bold words, vouched with a deed so bold. But he thus, overjoyed, "O fruit divine, sweet of thyself, but much more sweet thus cropped, forbidden here, it seems, as only fit for gods, yet able to make gods of men. And why not gods of men, since good, the more communicated, more abundant grows, the author not impaired, but honoured more. Here, happy creature, fair angelic Eve, partake thou also. Happy though thou art, happier thou mayest be, worthier canst not be. Taste this, and be henceforth among the gods thyself a goddess, not to earth confined, but sometimes in the air, as we sometimes ascend to heaven by merit thine, and see what life the gods live there, and such live thou. So saying, he drew nigh, and to me held, even to my mouth, of that same fruit held part which he had plucked. The pleasant savoury smell so quickened appetite that I, methought, could not but taste. Forthwith up to the clouds with him I flew, and underneath beheld the earth outstretched immense, a prospect wide and various. Wondering at my flight and change to this high exaltation, suddenly my guide was gone, and I, methought, sunk down and fell asleep. But oh, how glad I waked to find this but a dream. Thus Eve her night related, and thus Adam answered sad.